I'm old too, Jyotsna. I just have a few people who are still millennials and they told me to listen to K-pop.
Like they're good. Like I think K-pop artists like has improved since like last 5 years. They're like major big bands like in the world. So BTS, Blackpink, yes, they're getting really popular. But like I'm like mostly like I listen to mostly like songs from the 90s. So
That's also giving away your age.
yeah, I'm not like the teenager like that.
For a while, it used to be just Gangnam Style.
Yeah.
And then, after that, this really took over India. And now there's like this, the BTS fans call themselves they call themselves the army or something like that.
Army.
Yeah.
Hello.
Let me just check this.
Okay, I think people are coming in. We're waiting for Rishina, and when she joins, actually she's like removing her makeup and she's getting prepared. So when she joins, I will start doing the session. Could you guys wait for 1 second? And you guys could talk about K-pop.
It's not just K-pop. My mom used to learn quilling from a Korean teacher.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we absolutely love Korea now.
Do you guys watch a lot of K-dramas also, like on Netflix?
Not really. Some of those, I don't know, some in the short movies that come up, they show up a lot on Facebook though.
So like it was really big in Korea about the Parasite, the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that was a big issue in Korea also.
All right, so Smita is just joining in a minute,
and
we can start soon. So, just one question out of curiosity. So, how did what was the motivation for all of you to join, and what are you looking forward to?
Just thought of equipping ourselves with all those skills. So this just came, just in time.
Yeah, I did because I have a lot of things in my makeup kit which I've like really not bothered to learn how to use, and I'm generally interested in grooming. So I thought that this would be good to explore, to learn. So yeah, just general.
Excellent. And could you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, my name is Priyanka Divedi, and I'm calling here from Noida. I've joined.
Excellent. Thanks a lot. So for us, I mean, from our side also, right? So Shin, me and Rishina, so when we were discussing, some similar points came up across all of our mutual friends. Many of them wanted to learn how to use existing, say, brushes, Q-tips, anything better, and also what else can they try in let's say something which is practical to do. So using all of these initial ideas is why we're doing these Zoom calls. So as and when we go along, we'll sort of touch back with all of you and just understand how it's going for each of you. If there's anything else that you'd like to learn, you can put down any questions in the comment section at any point, and then we'll pick it up. And if more people are interested, we can deep dive into those as well. Broadly, what we've planned is, so once Rishina starts with an introduction of how we can go about it, we'll go through what's in your makeup kit in a way to see what it is that you can use today. And then we'll also try to do some makeup together. So Shin and I will sort of take a back seat. We'll switch off our videos so all of you can see each other properly. And if you are doing the makeup, leave your video on so then Rishina can see if you're doing it properly and maybe suggest some corrections. And yeah, that's sort of what we need to do. After the session, we'll also send you a small questionnaire just to understand how the experience was. Any suggestions at all if you think your friends would like to listen to something like this, you can reach out to us. So we've got all of our numbers on the WhatsApp group. We'll also contact you after the session. So, thanks a lot for joining us, and I hope you have a good time.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we're still waiting for Rishina. Like, I think it takes a little time for her to like take off the makeup and get ready. So yeah, could you guys wait just a little sec? And Peruna, could you like turn your camera like it's upside down in the
Okay,
Zoom
sure.
call? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's better. Yeah, that's better. Thank you. So I'll have to see you like this, you know. So that's why I told you.
Yeah, that's okay. Hey, Shin, while we wait, can you tell us what, like to prep your face for makeup, what do you recommend to like have a base or like a pre-makeup stuff?
Oh,
How
me?
you prepare your skin? Yeah.
Like I actually know nothing about makeup. So I'm just like doing the project and I'm trying to make Rishina the star. So like any question, like she'll answer for you. If you have any technical issue about Zoom or anything about Korea, I'll happy to answer. So Rishina, someone just asked me about how to do the skincare. So please add that in.
Okay.
And so Subu, would you do the introduction?
Yes, thanks, Shin. So, Rishina, we've got 13 people on the Zoom call today. And
That's amazing.
we were just talking, going around, making some introductions. Many of them, yeah. So thanks to everyone for joining us. We were just going around talking about why they've joined. So one thing is, of course, to do makeup together, understand how to use products better, how to use sort of go about the whole process better, and also learn from you. So on that note, so Rishina is a makeup artist and a hairstylist. She's worked with the top brands, worked with a lot of bloggers, with influencers in the space, and also working with working professionals, right? People who like to get makeup done in a shorter time and do better job with their makeup. So Rishina, welcome and over to you.
Thank you, TG. Guys, before I start, I just have a small request. Please put on your video so I know, I can see you guys as well, because it's fun when I know who I'm talking to. So that'd be great. And TG just told you guys about me. So yeah, I'm a makeup artist. I am from Bombay, and today we are gonna discuss all about makeup. I would like to help you out, sort your makeup issues, makeup related anything, challenges, whatever you have. Just throw the questions at me, and yeah, I'm gonna help you figure out to sort your problems or whatever it is. So before we begin, I have, could I know your name? Amit is your name, is it?
My name is Priyanka. Priyanka Devidi.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, Priyanka. And we have also Prerna with us. Hi, Prerna. Welcome to this Zoom call. And welcome to everybody else that I can't see, but I still welcome you for this Zoom call.
Great. So today we are going to discuss all about makeup. So let's start with, how about you tell me what are your, what is the like makeup challenge that you face so far? Anybody wanna?
Yeah, so I generally do not put makeup. Mostly, I put a eyeliner or little bit of concealer and a kajal. Mostly for my day to day, if I'm going to work, day to day, if I'm going out. But right now I've started getting a lot of dark circles and a little bit of pigmentation. So for that I would like to know how would, like, for I'm not a very high, like, I don't like high makeup on myself, a little bit of it. So how to use that mostly.
Right. So your main concern is how to use minimal products and get most out of it, so that it doesn't look too much, but it still
Yes,
does the job of makeup.
yes,
Great,
right.
Prerna. I am going to cover this. I will use products that are multi-purpose, so that you get a better idea on how you can use your products in different ways. And yeah, any more, like, what about anybody else?
Yeah.
Would you
So,
like to share? Yeah.
yeah. So basically, I cannot distinguish when should I, because I usually prefer sort of for no and for my office and work and stuff. And I cannot distinguish between primer and the use of a concealer.
Okay.
Yeah. And also,
Okay.
is primer just enough or is moisturizer enough? Yeah. And the second thing which I really am keen to know is that my eyes are hooded eyes. So any sort of above eye makeup, which I'm really fond of, like something really, sort of like party above the eye sort of thing. But then that really doesn't show up until unless I close my eyes, because I have like hooded eye sort of eyes. So I've seen a lot of YouTube tutorials wherein they teach you how to highlight the upper part of your eye, but I'm not able to learn that from there. So these two are my concerns.
Cool. So we will talk about skincare. It is actually one of the most important thing in makeup. So we will talk in detail about skincare, and I will also suggest how you can basically balance your eye shape. So makeup is all about balancing your features by using a certain products in a certain areas, so that we can balance it nicely and have like a perfectly balanced shape of the face and other features like eyes. So yes, we will discuss this. And we had Lekha who came in for a few seconds and then she went away. Do you want to come back and maybe just say hi? Do you have any makeup challenge? Hi. So nice to see you.
Hi. So nice to see you all too. I don't have makeup challenges because I don't use any makeup at all.
Okay.
But I'm very keen on skincare and what one can do to kind of, just have a routine in place. I know you read so much, you hear so much, everybody does so much, but I know it's also personal to your skin type and a whole bunch of things. Also, I've been told many times that I should use makeup. So maybe this is a good starting point. So I'm just waiting to, hear in on all the tips from you, Rishina.
Thank you, Rekha. Yes, we are actually going to talk a lot about skincare, because I think that in makeup, nothing can make your makeup look nice if your skincare isn't right. So we are going to talk about skincare. I'm going to give you some tips on how you can make your own skincare also. Like, that's what I do for my skin, because skincare, we always think that we need all these different kind of products. We need, from different brands. But honestly, skincare is something so basic, you can actually make it yourself. So yes, I will share the tips that I have and I have been doing for a while, and it has really helped me. So I think, it's only fair that other people who really want to get into not just makeup, or for someone like you, Rekha, as you mentioned, you're not really much into makeup, but you want to do something with, to maintain your skin. So we'll talk about that. And any more people who would like to talk about the challenges or anything?
Hey Rishina, hi, this is Jyotsna.
Hi.
Rishina, you're very pretty. I mean, you just don't look like you need any makeup. So, yeah, I just want to know how to achieve a natural look with makeup. That's my first challenge. And generally, like, when I go out to, when you're attending some celebrations and everything, you put on your makeup in the morning, and by the end of the evening, it looks like your face is melting. So how do you achieve that, let the makeup
You
stay on
maintain your makeup all day.
Yes. How do you do that? Yeah, those are my two things.
Sure. Thank you, Jyotsna, for the question. Great. So we pretty much, like everybody is discussing mainly how to do, makeup that doesn't look like a lot. So basically a no makeup look. So we will go ahead and create a nice makeup today together. And before that, I just have one question to ask all of you. If you could just tell me, what is your skin type like? How does your skin feel? So then I can, suggest you, because every skin type will have a different kind of, like suggestion that I can give you. So if you could share what is your skin type, and then we can begin from there.
Sure, Rishina. So I'll go first quickly. Sorry,
Okay.
guys, this is Lekha coming in. So I have a combination T-zone skin, where my T-zone is slightly oilier and my cheeks are a bit dry. But also I noticed that I have very, very sensitive skin. So sometimes some products don't necessarily suit me and some do really well on my face. So, and again, it changes. If it's summertime, the same products that I use in winter don't work during summertime. So it also goes with the change in weather. Yeah, so that's my skin type.
Okay. We had Jyotsna, she had something to say. What is your skin type like?
I also have a combination skin, like, oily T-zone and dry cheeks. So, I just stick to what Lekha said.
Okay, cool. And you guys, Priyanka and Trina?
Yeah, I have mostly dry skin. It's not.
Okay.
I have to moisturize a lot. So yeah.
Okay. All right. And Priyanka, you're on mute. I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I?
I can hear you now. Yes. Now I can't. It just went back again. I think you'll have to unmute and wait a couple of seconds. Yeah, perfect. Now I can hear you.
Yeah. I have a normal skin, neither too dry nor oily, but my skin is sensitive to when I usually get facials and stuff, I prefer doing exfoliation or scrubbing at home. And I really have a thing. I'm scared of using the products of Lotus and stuff which they use in salons and all, because a couple of times I realized I have a sensitive skin, but a normal.
Okay, so does your skin sometimes ever like feel dull, if not oily or dry? Does it ever feel dull where, if you say, maybe if you splash some water, it just feels great, but otherwise it's okay. It doesn't feel too bad. It doesn't feel dry, but it just, after putting some water, it feels great. Does it happen to anybody? In fact, not just her, but this question is for everybody.
No. Not like that.
Okay, great. So no problem. Mainly we have combination skin in this group where, T-zone is oily and, either the cheeks are normal or dry, or the whole skin is dry, or it's very sensitive. So you can't use a lot of products that way. Yeah, that happens. One of the most important things in makeup, I personally think, is skincare. If your skincare is not right, irrespective of makeup you put on or not, but if your skincare is not right, it's going to be a really, like, if you can't figure what skincare to use, that is a challenge. And for a while, I myself did face that issue till I actually figured the difference between the skin types. So like we all mentioned, those who have oily and combination skin, I would suggest use moisturizers that are maybe gel like, or moisturizer that are lotion like, but don't use anything creamy, because for oily combination skin, what happens is you use anything creamy, it tends to secrete more oil out of your skin. So I just go for a product that is aloe vera like, which is aloe vera gel, or you can use any lotion which is lightweight. I personally, and for dry skin, yes, you do, if you feel the need to put moisturizers maybe a couple of times a day, that means your skin is dry, Prerna. So in that case, I would suggest wear a moisturizer that is little rich and creamy. But while you do that, you can also use some product that is gel based, so again it adds hydration to your skin. So because only if you use moisturizer that are rich and creamy, not necessarily that they will hydrate your skin. It will just condition your skin, but it may not hydrate your skin. So what difference between a dehydrated skin and a oily skin is that dehydrated skin and dry skin is that dry skin needs moisture. So any rich creamy moisturizer would really condition the skin. But dehydrated skin lacks water. So what happens is when you put any gel based products, that would just hydrate your skin well. And even for sensitive skin, when your skin is sensitive, I would really suggest to use products like aloe vera gel, because it has properties to calm your skin down, and it really soothes your skin. So again, it's a great product to have. You can just completely replace your moisturizer with a aloe vera gel. You have it. That's great, Priyanka. So yeah, that works. I actually have made a moisturizer myself at home. Like I have made a sort of just give me a second. I'm also recording it, so the phone just went off. So I make my own combination using aloe vera gel and Evian. So you can get any gel possible, that is aloe vera, and you can get this medicine called Evian. So these are vitamin capsules. It has vitamin E in it, so it really hydrates your skin. So what I do is I just get like, you can just take out your moisturizer in a container like this, and you can put the Evian, maybe 3-4 capsules in it, and just mix it well, so it will become a little milky. So this combination, what it will do is that it will really hydrate your skin well. And you can, maybe for dry skin like you, Prerna, make sure that you maybe start with this moisturizer. And because this is very lightweight, so it will get absorbed in your skin very quickly. So once you use this, maybe after like say once it feels like it's not there at all, then you can use your moisturizer over it. But let this really seep into your skin first. So maybe give it like 15 minutes and then use your moisturizer. And for sensitive skin also, you can, like Lekha and Priyanka, you guys can use the same combination, aloe vera. It really works. It's one of my favorite products to use because it really hydrates your skin. And best thing is it also works for your under eyes. Yeah, so if you want, it brightens your skin. So especially say under eyes, you think it, you want to if you have like little depth on the under eye and you want the color to like slightly even out and come, if not the same, but then come close to your skin, then that also helps. Maybe you can just use like a little thicker layer of that and keep it overnight, and it'll really hydrate and brighten the under eye.
So it can be used in daytime?
Yeah. Just make sure you don't massage it. Like I'll show you how to use it, but you can use it. I use it like a couple of times a day. After a shower, you can use, before sleeping, you can use. It's great. But if your skin is dry, then make sure you use something after this also, because this is not enough for dry skin. Yeah. But otherwise, but for sensitive skin, it is amazing. It will reduce your redness. It will reduce acne. It will really reduce, if you have rashes. This is such a great product. So yeah, This is one of the, and it also like, it has a, because it hydrates, it also has this property of controlling oil. Like since the time I've started using aloe vera gel, my oil on the nose has sort of reduced. I won't say it has, you know, completely vanished, but it has kind of reduced, and which I really love, because generally my T-zone is like so oily and rest is like, okay. So, you know, I always used to feel like, you know, as if I can just take this oil and really use it. Anyway, so this really helped. You guys can try it. And I just wanted to know what kind of products, like what kind of makeup do you do? So that, you know, I know we are doing like a neutral makeup today. But I just wanted you guys to tell me what kind of makeup do you do? What kind of products do you use when you do your makeup?
I have the MAC products in my kit.
Okay, so what kind of products do you use? Do you use like eye pencil, lipstick, and skin, like foundation, concealer, powder? I just want to know the products so I can use some. Okay. All right, great. So then we can just start directly with, you know, creating a neutral makeup and using the basic products. So I'm gonna, would you guys like to join me to do this makeup? Maybe you also create this makeup at your, on yourself at home. Yeah. So let's start with a moisturizer first. I am using this this gel mix that I have made. Right, for now you can use whatever you use. If you have gel, use that. If otherwise, use any moisturizer that you generally use. Maybe you can make this gel combo later and use that. Also, this combination, like this moisturizer that we've made, this also works well if, say, if you have some, like, you know, your skin has got burned somewhere and you just need a little, you know, calming, and you just want the skin to really calm down. It really helps with that. Just recently, you know, in quarantine, I was cooking and I burned myself, and I just couldn't take the pain. It was like it was burning so bad, but this really helped me. I just put like a thick layer of it, and I left it, and a couple of hours later, it just felt very nice. So this is my personal experience with experimenting this. So now I'm taking this product, I'm taking like a generous amount. And first I'm just gonna make a few dots. So the reason I prefer putting some dots around and then really massaging and putting it on the whole face is because then you know how much you need, you know. Otherwise, sometimes you may take more, sometimes you may take less. Especially when you have very limited time, you don't really want to waste in, you know, just applying same thing again and again. I'm just gonna very gently like rub my hands, and now if you see, I'm just very gently applying. I'm not rubbing it so hard. So just go very gentle, go very easy on your skin, especially if the skin is, you know, sensitive. Now for the under eye area, I'm going to take my ring fingers. I'm going to look up and I'm going to apply this. So just go back and forth a few times, because hydrating your under eyes will also minimize your lines, and under eyes is the first place we get lines and very difficult to really get rid of. So make sure that you do hydrate it. Even if you're not putting anything on your face, just put a little bit on your under eyes. Now once I'm done with the whole face and neck, don't forget the neck. Your skin already will look very hydrated with it. Like not only feels but also looks hydrated. Now I'm going to put a little bit of lip conditioner, because that also is a part of skincare. So after this, I generally suggest that, you know, to once you put your skincare, you let your skincare be on your skin for some time. Don't just start with primer and everything else, because what happens is your skincare really needs to get absorbed into your skin. And only after that, you know, when you put things, and it works better because your skin is well hydrated. Once you're done with your lip, I'm going to show you how you can create a look with minimal products. So I'm going to use my lipstick as my eyeshadow. I'm not sure if you guys have ever tried that, but that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you how. So I'm using this liquid lipstick by PAC. It is a very neutral shade. I'm just going to apply it on my... Now, when you're using a product like this, make sure you go like one by one. Always like first do one eye, then you do the other, and then you come back to one. Always go one by one with it. Just a moment, I'm going to take... So, I'm keeping my brush ready because this is a liquid lipstick. It will start to dry after some time. So, I want to make sure it doesn't dry. So, I'm going to put it on my whole eyelid. You can use normal lipstick also. If you don't have liquid lipstick, you can use any lipstick that you have. I like this color. It's really good for a neutral one. So once I'm done with this, I'm taking a fluffy brush and I'm going to quickly blend that out, especially the outer edges. I'm not going to blend all my the whole of my eyelid, but just the edges towards my crease, because I want that to blur out a little bit. Now this works as a great eyeshadow base also. You can even use your concealer as your eyeshadow base, but right now I just wanted to use lesser products, and hence I'm just using this lipstick. So I went on my crease and slightly came out towards my brow bone area, like here. Yeah. I'm gonna let this much be. I don't wanna add a lot. I think this is nice. And once we finish the makeup, this is not gonna look a lot. Same thing on the other eye. So I prefer doing my eye, like a whole of my makeup simultaneously. Whatever I do on one side, I do it on the other side before really going to the next step. So that way you can make sure that you balance out everything. Otherwise, if you just finish your whole of one eye and then other side, you'll be like, I don't know how much did I use. Here you can have that balance right. Again, just blending into the crease. So now, like you mentioned, Priyanka, that you want to balance your eye shape, right? So you have a issue that you're basically, observing your eyes, I can see that your brow bone is slightly bigger than your eyelid. So it's covering your eyelid a little bit. So you want your eyelid to be your focus, right? You want to balance it out. So what you can do is you can use products that are brighter or little shinier on your eyelid area. Now I just want to, clear, this is the eyelid, right above the eyeball. This is the eyelid. Then the fold that you see above it, this is your crease area. And the rest of the above, this is your brow bone area. So ideally, when you want to push any when you want to balance any of it, wherever you put matte and dark color, darker than your skin, wherever you put matte and dark, that color gets pushed back. And wherever you put shine, that comes forward. So now if you put anything that's bright or shiny on your eyelid, it will bring forward your eyelids. And when you put like a darker color on your, darker color than your skin, on your brow bone area, it will get pushed back. So you balance it out like that. Yeah, so if you just say use a shiny product on your eyelid, and if you just go all over, then it's not gonna do the magic. You will have to use a combination of shine and matte or bright and matte. But the color and texture really matters. So even say it is on mute again. Could you say it again, Priyanka? I couldn't hear.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, come again.
Yeah, I'm saying that. So the eyelid area, you're suggesting that I should go for something shiny, and above the crease with the area that you pointed out, I have to use something which is darker than my complexion. Okay.
Yeah. So then when you use something darker, like, so this is the concept where wherever you use any darker or a matte product, you push that area back. So basically, if I'm looking at you, I won't observe area which are deeper. I will observe area that has more shine. So if you put shine on your eyelid, you're subconsciously making me look at your eyelid more than your brow bone. That area I won't look at. That is like conscious thing. It happens with everybody. Wherever there is shine, we tend to look there more compared to our to an area that has more matte. Yeah. So now once I'm done with the blending, I think this is good enough. After this, I'm gonna put kajal on the bottom. So because we are creating like a very subtle look, I'm gonna create. I'm gonna put kajal very little, and I'm not gonna go all the way. I'm gonna put like little bit on my lash line area. This is only to make sure that I'm, sculpting my eyes a little bit. Now I'll take a brush which is slightly more flat and smudge it out. Now if you see, I haven't really put on my waterline. I have put slightly outside my waterline. So I've put the product on my lash line and I'm smudging that out. Like that. You can put it on your waterline also, but the point is that waterline, when you put any product on waterline, you can't smudge that because that will really bother your eye. If you want to smudge anything, bring it slightly outside. And it's always nice to bring, little product outside because it will accentuate your lower lash line. So I don't have like a lot of lashes on my lower lash line. That is one of the main reason why I do this, because then I don't need a lot of lash, because this just makes it look like I have a great lash line because I've just lined it. Now I'm just blending it again. Have you guys heard about tight lining? Anybody?
No.
No? Okay. So basically tight lining is, lining your lash line. Now this is completely optional. You can, like how we put kajal on the bottom, on the waterline on the bottom, the same way we can put it on the top also. So it kind of defines the eye really well. So just to show you, this is completely optional. You can skip it if you want, but I'm gonna show you anyway. So if you want to reach in the inner corner, you look in the opposite direction. So your eyeball has to be away from that line, and then you color that line. See, like that. Now when you look the other way, the eyeball is away from the outer corner. So then it gets easier to really do on reach your outer corner of your top lash line. Now for the bottom, we can always do this. But for the top, it's difficult. Hence, you just have to make sure you change the angle. Now, if you just look at my eyes, do you see the difference of how well this line, like this eye is well defined compared to this eye? And that's only because of this thing called tight lining. Tight lining is basically the top waterline that we do. So again, the same thing looking on the top.
Yeah, on the waterline, are you touching the upper lid waterline when you're looking this way? Or yes?
Yeah. So when I look away, my eyeball, see, wherever, if you try and go close to your eyeball, your eyes will shut, because that's the reflex it has. The lashes will protect the eyeball. Anything comes closer, it will shut. So that's why you keep your eyeball away from the area you want to reach, Like I'll just come closer. And then you reach like that. And then you go in the opposite direction. And then you reach the inner corner. Yeah?
Yeah.
Like that. So you just have to turn your face to reach the corners of the face. If it's okay if you miss the center, but main is the corners. And then the bottom you just do like a very thin line. And that's it. So once we are done with this, now this is completely optional as I mentioned, but if you do this, it really defines your eyes really well. Now, if you see my eyes, they are looking much more defined than they did in the beginning of this video. That's only because of the small things like this that makes a lot of difference. And especially when we want to use very little products, then use it very precisely. That's how you can actually accentuate your features using very minimal products. So this is one of the ways. Now, on any part of the face, if we use a cream, it will keep moving because of the weather conditions all over India. It's generally kind of warm, if not very hot, it's still warm most of the year. It's only few areas that are like pleasant and nice, but just to make sure that this creamy product doesn't move, we lock it with powder. Any powder is okay. So in this case, what I'm going to be using is a very neutral powder like this. The reason I'm using a neutral powder is because this I'm going to be using even for my blush and the same product on my eyes. So it's a multi-purpose use. I don't want to use a lot of products because I want to save time. And it also helps when you want to travel with less products. So again, I'm using the same brush. Just going to clean it on a tissue. So this is called dry brushing. Whenever you just dry cleaning. So you just clean the brush before using it on the, before using another product with it. So I'm taking some more product at the tip of my brush, take off the excess if required. And then I'm going at the bottom again. So just so that you can see I look straight. So this way I'm actually locking this product. Now the kajal that I've put, it's not going to spread or it's not going to smudge. It's not going to go all over the face. It will really stay there because I have put shadow. Like, a lot of times, you might have noticed even, however good kajal it is, it tends to smudge. And if you take water, completely waterproof that doesn't smudge at all, can clog the pores here. So best thing is to just make sure that you put little shadow underneath so that it doesn't move at all. Now I'm going to use a little more fluffier brush, the same one that I use for the top for blending. It's a little more rounder and fluffier. There is some product here, so I'm going to take that off again with the dry brushing technique. Just cleaning it so that I don't get a lot. Now I'm using this again like a little bit. Taking only on the tip of the brush if you notice. If you take product everywhere, it's not going to be very specific placement. It's going to go everywhere, the product. So just to make sure that the product placement is specific, I'm taking only on the tip of the brush. Now I'm going to go pretty much on my brow bone area. Now this color that I'm using is slightly deeper than my skin. So which is why I'm using it here so that it pushes my brow bone little behind. Yeah. So we go like that. On both the sides. Slightly go on the brow bone area. Now this is your, like if you wonder where to go, make sure that you don't go more beyond this. So if you're looking straight, right where your eye ends, this is how slightly upwards it has to go. So your shadow has to end in that line. Don't go beyond it because then it will make your eye look little droopy, little descending. So you don't want our eyes to look descending at all. Now that we are done with this, it looks like, it's a very neutral color. It looks nice. It doesn't look too much. Now we will do little bit of brows. So when it comes to brows, make sure you brush your brows up like that. I'm going in the opposite direction and then again brushing them up. So when you brush your brows up straight, it actually it lifts your face. Now if you compare it from here, if I compare both my brows, just a moment, let me brush it well and then show you. Now, if you see this side, it looks slightly more lifted compared to this side. Do you notice the difference, like that lift? That is only because my hair is straight. And the hair here, they are not straight. They are like falling down. So that's how much difference just our hair makes. So make sure the hair, it's facing, like they're all facing up. And to make that happen, go in opposite direction like that. I'm just gonna quickly start from the center. Never start your brows from the inner corners because it will become very strong here. Start from the center and very gently and with a very lightweight pressure, keep coming to the front. Now I'm trying to make like small strokes in the direction of my hair. So if you're wondering how to like measure your brows, how long they should be, how to really get the brows right, there's a measurement technique that you can use. And I'll show you in a second. So how you can measure is that you can take a pencil or a brush, anything, right where the nose and the eyes meet, okay, and intersect on the brow. That's where the brow should start. So if you take a closer look, that's where my brows start. Only the inner corner I've kept it little light because it has to be from light to dark. So inner corner has to be light. Yeah, where it should end again, where the nose and the brow end, like nose and the eyes end and intersect on the brow line. This is how long your brow has to be. Not longer than that, not shorter than that. If it is longer, it will make your face again look going like that. So you can take off the extra hair if you have. And your arch will be right where the eye, nose and the pupil, basically, not eyes, but pupil, out of one of the pupil goes and intersects on the brow line. So this is where my highest point of the arch should be. That's where I've already made. Now, I did this before, but I'm used to doing my brows, so I know what point is the highest arch that requires. So same thing on the other side, filling it in. Does any of you prefer doing your brows?
I do.
You do? So what product do you use for your brows, Priyanka?
Yeah, it's kind of like the same thing you're using. It's
right.
Yeah, it has a pencil on one side and this brush on the other side.
Brush on the other side.
Nice. It's easy, and I also use this brush, which has a sponge on one side and a little just to wipe off
excess. Very interesting. Right. Yeah, brow pencils, they really work. Just make sure that you keep your inner corners kind of light and, don't put like a lot. and then again blend it. So brow is more about blending. Make sure you don't just apply and leave, but blend it for it to look nice. So the reason they've given a brush like this, which you see, which you also have, yeah. So the reason they have given a brush like this is because this, when you actually do this, it gives your, when you blend it, it gives you hair-like finish on your skin. So which is why they've made a brush like that. Yeah, once we are done with this, again, brushing it well. In my opinion, brows are very important because when you do your brow well, it actually sculpts your whole face. It really defines your face. So brow is one of my favorite looks. There are times when I just put brows, little lipstick, and I'm out. There is no other product. Always be there. So, but we Indians are actually blessed with good brows. So if we just fill wherever required, that's also enough. Sometimes only grooming is enough. You know, we don't even need to use product for some people.
So I want to ask a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a doubt regarding the color of the pencil that I can choose. So my brows are not very light, neither very dark. So should I use a darker pencil, or should I use for the, like, there's like 01 is black, 02 is gray, and there is light black. So what is the difference and which one should I go for?
Ideally, your brow color should match the hair. And if your hair are colored like mine, then it should match the color of the root of the hair. So if your hair looks like, really say your hair looks black, then I would suggest do not use black on the brows, because black is a very strong color, and when you put black on the brows, it really makes the face like very strong. We want to sculpt our face and we want to define our brows and define our face, but we still don't want to look very, like very strong. We still want it to look very subtle and more naturally. We want it to look as a part of our natural brows, more compared to a very strong brow. So I would suggest using like a brown, a dark brown would be a great choice for most of our hair. Yeah. But just in the inner corner, make sure the inner corner you use the lightest color. Don't, I mean, if you see here, I haven't really used a lot of color in the inner corner so much. That's because this area, if you put stronger color, it will look like you're angry, because the color is so strong in the center, then it will make you look, even when you're not, it will make you look angry because it's just too strong. So it looks like, it's very well defined like that. So that's why I prefer to keep it more natural that way, especially in the inner corners. Great. So now that we are done with this, we can, if in case now, say if there's a fallout on the under eye, we did like, because we put the shadow and we use product on the brows, we use product on the eyes, we may have a fallout. So what I'm going to use is, I'm using a hydrating mist, and I'm just going to take it on the cotton, and very gently I'm just going to wipe it like that. Yeah, so if there is any fallout that has fallen, then your makeup will still look nice. And this is a very important, very small tip, but very important, that will make sure that your under eyes don't look darker. Sometimes it happens, we put kajal and then it makes our under eyes look darker, and we don't know why. But that's because of a fallout that's sticking on the under eye area. So make sure you just clean it, even if you're not putting any concealer. Also, this is also homemade, although I've put it in a MAC bottle because this was extra, but this is homemade mist. So how you can make it is that you can just get some rose water, and again you can put like maybe a capsule of Evian, and just put just one capsule in this 100 ml bottle and like shake it really well. And this can work for literally anything. You can apply it before makeup, you can apply after makeup to set your makeup, you can apply without makeup. If you have any skin rash, or you have, you come out from the sun and your skin is burning, you can use this. It really immediately calms your skin. And it's good for the kids also. So, if kids are around and they need some calming, you can even calming of the skin, then you can do that. Now, I'm going to do my skin, but before that, because I removed the under eye area a little, I'm going to take a little gel moisturizer just for my under eyes again. Because I want my under eye to be very well hydrated. If it is not well hydrated, then how much ever product I put, concealer, it's not going to look nice. It will look patchy. It won't look very flawless. Like especially the finish won't look flawless. So I'm just going to look up with my ring finger and just going back and forth. Yeah. The reason I'm looking up is because again, the eyeball, when they're away from the fingers, it makes your application more smoother. So yeah, there we are. You can put, at this point, you can put your primer because your moisturizer that we have put has already like seeped into the skin by now. So you can actually put primer now, because primer is something that holds your makeup. Primer is something that will, it creates a layer between your skin and your foundation. So it won't let your foundation penetrate your skin. It will stay on the top layer. And I personally have, since the time I've started, using this aloe vera gel mix with the Evian thing, I use that as my primer also. So it really works well. It holds my makeup long. And then after that, if not primer, you can even use sun protect. If you're going out, you think you're going to be out in the sun for some time or whatever, you want to just wear a layer of sunscreen, then again, this is the time, because after this, we are going to put concealer and everything. So we can't put anything to do with skin after that. So I'm using this concealer called Studio Fix by MAC. You can really use any concealer, but how you can choose your concealer is that make sure your concealer is darker than your skin, like darker than the rest of the skin. The reason is that sometimes, I see a lot of people buying lighter concealer for their under eyes, but that won't really help you much, because a lighter concealer, which is lighter even than your skin, is not going to blend into your skin at all. So something that's not going to blend will make it look little gray and little dull, and it won't blend. So again, it's not going to look flawless. Especially if you want your makeup to not show at all, never use any lighter products. Use the same color. And especially for the under eyes, use a shade darker than your skin. It will be definitely lighter than the under eye, but it will be darker than the skin. So it will neutralize it. So I'm using the shade NW35 in matte. But really, you can make sure that you go to the store and try it, whichever brand you buy. Now I'm going to make like a couple of dots. And I'm just going to pat it. If you've seen, I'm not sweeping it back and forth. I'm only patting it. The reason is that when you sweep it, you take product from one end to other and it just goes back and forth. So the product is not gonna, you're not placing the product, you're sweeping the product. Hence, for concealing, we always need more very specific application, which is why I suggest to pat instead of sweeping it. So here also, I'm gonna pat, keep patting. So I'm literally lifting the brush off my skin and then putting it on the other spot. And once you're done with the patting and the application, then just the outer corner, which is the periphery of your concealer where it ends, that you can just blend into the skin so that there is no specific strong lines happening there, yeah? After that, I'm gonna use the same concealer to conceal my spots. And this time I'm just gonna use my fingers to pat it. Because this is very specific, so you want to make sure that you're not going anywhere apart from where you want it to be. So be very specific about your placement. So whenever we use products that are that are to conceal, we think that okay, we want product to not show at all. But if we use like a lot of product, it will show. That's why I keep mentioning that use little product, use lesser, and then keep building it. Like say for instance, you apply it once and you're not happy with that, then you can maybe apply another time. But instead of putting like a lot of it and then trying to make it look natural, it's not going to look natural at all, because you've already used more than it's required on that spot. So yeah, pretty much done. Now after this, if you want to put a liquid foundation, you can put a liquid foundation, just make like dots, and you can use a brush to blend it, or you can use your hands also, just like to very very gently blend it, and it will go everywhere. Yep. So now I'm not using a liquid foundation because I'm using a powder, which is Powder Plus Foundation. This is from MAC, but again, you can use any product. So when it comes to selecting your foundation, okay, we also had a message from Divya. I'm sorry, Divya, I missed your message. I just saw it. Okay, you want to learn how you can contour your nose. Okay, so I'll give you those tips. So for now, like, whenever you have to choose your foundation color, make sure that your foundation color, like when you go and try, don't just apply on like one spot and pick it, or never try it on your hand and pick it, because your hand and your face, they're going to be different in color. So what will work for your hand will not necessarily work for your face. So make sure you take the product, you swatch it a little on your cheeks. And also we have a lot of different colors on the face. So our mouth area would be a different color, our cheeks will have a different color, and the forehead will have a different color, which is why again concealer helps to even it out. So choosing your foundation, again, apply like little foundation here and blend it. Apply little foundation on your cheeks and blend it, and apply a little on your chin and blend it. And maybe try a couple of colors and see which is the closest that looks nice on all three areas. And then pick that shade and apply it all over the face. And again, keep it for another 15-20 minutes or at least half an hour. So I would suggest buying your foundation in the daytime, because sometimes what happens is that stores will have different kind of lights. So if you go and buy in a store and you really love it in those lights, but at your home you have very different lights, so when you go home you might not like that color, because that color looks very completely different at home. So I would suggest that go and buy your foundation in the daytime, so that once you apply, you can just step out in the sun like in a normal daylight, see how the color looks, which color looks great, and then you can just pick that one up. Now coming back to the product, I'm putting the powder again. Now I'm taking like a little flat and fluffy brush. I'm taking the powder all over the brush like that, and I'm gonna go everywhere. I'm putting it on my whole face. Especially on your T-zone, and if your T-zone is oily, put more product. So like I had a question, right? That sometimes, you know, in the day, the when you go from home, it looks nice, but couple of hours later, your makeup is like, especially the T-zone is very oily. So see, oils coming out of your face is really a very good sign. So if your skin is oily, be happy, because oily skin means your skin is very healthy already. Yeah. And maybe T-zone is something like, you know, you just have to control the oil, for which you can buy products like powder products that are mattifying and that are more oil controlling. And then you can just put that a little more on the nose area, and T-zone where you get more oil. So it will really help you control oil. Now, one thing I see a lot of people missing out on applying foundation on their neck. Like face would look really amazing, but then the neck looks completely different. That happens when we are putting liquid foundation on the face, but not on the neck. So if you're putting liquid foundation on the face, do make sure to put it on your neck as well. And if you're putting just powder, like this is a powder come, like a foundation come powder. So I'm using this on my whole face and neck. Like whatever area that's, if you're wearing deep neck or you're wearing, you know, backless, just make sure you put everywhere so that it looks even. Point is to make the whole skin look even. Now once we are done with that, I'm again gonna come back to my blush, which is also like a color for a contour, like color contour for my contour. I can use it for as a blush and contour both. I'm using the same brush. I'm just gonna clean the brush so that there is no more powder on it. So you see, I'm using less products and I'm showing you different ways of using it. So if you're buying, next time you're buying a blush, make sure you're buying a blush that is like slightly, you know, a color that would really work for your neutral. It has to be a neutral color, something like this. Instead of going for like a pink, go for something that's neutral brown, you know. So then that you're investing in a product that will be used for different areas. Now if you buy like a bright pink, it would, I mean, unless you're that kind of a person who likes to wear a bright pink on your eyes, you know, then it looks great, then it's value for money for you. Now I'm showing you how to use contour your face with a blush color. Again, I'm using on the tip of the brush. And contouring starts right where your start. So if you actually touch your face right on this area, you will see there is a bone here. Yeah, just touch your face and see. And right under it, like once you touch your face, yeah, you feel the bone. Now you go slightly below the bone, you'll feel a little hollowness. Like there's this little hollow right under the bone. So that hollow is your contour area. Yeah. So you need to feel that whole hollow, how long it is. So it will generally be right where your eye is. Right, that's how much the contour area has to be. Yeah. So now I'm gonna go again. I'm showing you from here towards the nose. Yeah. Now if your face is still, for now I can't tell everybody's face shape here, but for instance, say your face is very, very long. You feel that your face is long and you want your face to look a little less long, you know. So that's when you're contouring, you won't come down like this. You would instead go straight. Yeah, your placement won't be like this. You would just go straight. So that way you're cutting the length of the face with contour. Now, for instance, you have a round face. And if you want your face to look more slimmer, but you also want it to look longer, because, you know, round, the ideal face shape is not round, it's more like oval. Yeah, so then in that case, you go slightly lower. Not like all the way like that, but just slightly lower. So first we were going to go straight. Now we're going to go slightly angled. Yeah. So when we look straight, it will come like in between the nose and the lip. Don't go all the way down to the lip. Even if your contour is going, say your hollow, this hollow that we felt is going all the way here towards your lip, you still don't go that long. Then your upper face, like it, you look the, the top of your face will look quite broader and compared to the bottom of your face. Now, I'm just gonna go in that area and yeah, this is the contour area. You see, it has already started to shape my face. Same thing on the other side, contouring it with that shade. I'm actually going to use the same color for my cheeks also. Now, how we put blush? For blush, I always say this when, it's, so blush when you blush. So you always smile when you're blushing. That's because when you smile, you get this round here, right? This is your cheeks. And you want to make sure that you don't go beyond that, because otherwise it'll make your face look slightly bigger. We don't want our face to look bigger. We want the placement to be very right. Makeup is all about placement. Once you get your placement right, you see whichever like actresses who, where you see absolutely no makeup, but there is makeup. It's just that it's put so well and it's put so little, but the placement is so right that you can't tell that it's even there. So just like that, I'm gonna take now again on the tip of my brush. I'm gonna blush when I blush. And this is where I'm gonna scoop it up. So if you see, I'm scooping my brush like that. Yeah. I wish all of you were doing this makeup with me. It would have been so much fun. But maybe next time.
I tried it. It's one has to pay attention to it, and in that case, when you're looking like here in the brush goes there, it might become very clumsy. So that's why it's better attention.
Yeah, but actually when you practice while I'm doing, then I can even suggest how to hold your brush, because right now, see, like I would know how you hold your brush, and how you hold your brush is the most important thing in makeup. Like, for instance, like I keep mentioning the tip of the brush that I'm using. So even when I'm doing this, I'm just using the tip. Now, if I put the whole brush like that, the makeup is not going to look the same. Yeah, perfect. You can actually practice like that. So just smile and then scoop it up like that.
This is something that I used to go like this, but I don't know that.
Yeah. So what happens with that, you can use, there's nothing wrong in makeup. Like, makeup is a very personal choice. So I won't call that wrong. But what happens is when you put product on the brush, like a lot of product, and then you go like that, you're placing a lot of product in those areas, right? But whereas if you're just sweeping it like that, you're blending it so well that you don't have to blend later. Pehle se you're blending it. Yeah,
right.
Like that. Yeah.
So one question, when you're applying the blush, you said just smile and scoop it on the area that kind of like bulges up here. So how long should I go like till here under the eye, or just this portion?
No. So for blush, you can actually put your mix. So your contour will start from here and your blush starts from here, and they just blend into each other. Contour can't come beyond the eye, but blush can pretty much go all the way back if it wants to. Like you can go, just run your brush all the way back. But if you're just putting a blush and you're not putting a contour at all, in that case, just make sure that you blend it well. So once you put it on your cheeks, you slightly go back and forth and you blend it. So it shouldn't look like it's suddenly stopping. It has to fade out very gradually. But I would really suggest doing contour, even with your blush. If you contour, what happens is that when you contour, it is just pushing this area a little inside, slightly behind. So when you look at me, even in your laptop or your phone, your attention is not really much here. Your attention is more in the center of my face. Yeah, this is a subconscious thing. That's because I've contoured my face. If I wouldn't have contoured my face, you probably might have looked at my whole of my face. But because this is a matte color and it is pushing it behind, subconsciously you're not paying attention here. You're paying attention more on the center of the face where it's more bright. That's how our minds are generally, so which is why we play around with makeup in that way.
Can I use bronzer for blush and for contouring both? Bronzer?
Bronzer, see, the thing with bronzer is that will be slightly too dark for a blush. Yeah. I mean, for blush, if you put like such a warmer color for your in the center of your face, you're basically, whenever you put anything that is much warmer than your skin, you're taking attention off that area. So that may confuse, if I'm looking at you, then it may confuse like where should I focus exactly. But if you put like, if you want to put slight bit of bronzer in that palette that you showed, it had a pink next to it.
Yeah.
So you can mix them both and then apply.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can maybe mix them both and then apply, then it's okay. But I would still suggest keep the bronzer for the outer corners. And, for your cheeks, you can use like slightly more lighter color. Like, for instance, this one is slightly warmer than my skin, but it is still very neutral in color. It doesn't have a strong brown color to it, which is why I can use it on my cheeks and contour both. So now that we are done with this, I'm going to come to my lipstick, and I'm going to use the same lipstick that I used for my eyes, because today is more about monochromatic color scheme. So I'm going with the same colors on the whole face. Now this lipstick, I'll go all over. I really love liquid lipsticks. They like last very long. Divya had a question on the nose, so I have to get back to that. So Divya, I hope you're listening. I'll be there in a bit. So whenever you're using a liquid liquid to matte lipstick, make sure that you're using a nice lip conditioner so that your lips don't feel dry. Because these are liquid to matte, it tends to become matte, and if your lips, like my lips generally are very dry, so if I don't put anything, then this will start to chap my lips. So make sure that you just condition your lips well. My makeup is almost done, only my contour of the nose is remaining and my mascara. So for the contour of the nose, again, you can use the same brush, but this time I'm going to hold it like this. So normally brush is this fluffy, right? And I'm going to press it from the beginning, like from right at the tip of it. So it becomes a little more thinner. Either you can do that, or you can use another brush which is smaller, something like this, which is smaller. So then you can use directly this. But this brush has eyeshadow on it, so I don't want to like put a darker color right now. So I'm going to use this thin brush. Hold this brush like that. Again, taking only on the tip of my brush. You see the product is only on the tip. And now for my nose. Now I will first look at the mirror and observe my face well. Okay, which part of my nose do I want to contour? Do I want to contour the bottom to make it look slightly more thinner? Or do I want to do the bottom and the center? And how is the bridge of the nose? If this is already thin, then you don't want to go all the way here. You just want to contour the sides. Yeah. So I'm gonna contour just the sides like this. and take the product again, but just go on the side. So we are going on the sides of the nose, and but then don't just put on the sides here. You make sure you also cover this area, because if you just put here and nothing here, then this will again, it will the whole impact of contour won't be there. It has to be very well blended. You blend it like that, go on the other side and blend it. And you see now my nose is contoured. Actually, it looks thinner than it is. You can actually just put like little on the tip also. But don't go all the way inside. If your nose is like thin here, then don't go all the way here. If your nose is little more, you know, if it's not very thin, then maybe yes, you can actually go on the side also. Yeah. If your nose is little broader, then you can go on the sides. But otherwise, here avoid. Like for my nose shape, I wouldn't go all the way here. So that's it. This is done. Now we are gonna head to curling the lashes and then mascara. So how you can curl the lash is very easy. Just get a lash curler. You can just put your chin slightly up, have a mirror at the bottom, like right in front of you. So I have a mirror right here. I'm gonna put my chin, instead of looking at the mirror up straight, I'm gonna look up. If in case your mirror is like right here next to you, then I'm gonna look up and then do it. But if it's the mirror is at the bottom, then you just will be looking up anyway. So I'm gonna go into my lash completely as much as I could. Sometimes lashes don't fit in the lash curler, so then you have to do it twice. Be careful and don't press it just immediately. Be very careful because your eyes are very sensitive. So once you have the lashes, then you press it a couple of times. And then that's it. Okay, all my lashes don't fit in the whole thing. So now I'm just going to turn my face in the opposite direction. Just like how we do tight lining, you need to do your lash curling also by turning your face away. Now if you see, do you see the difference in my eye? One eye looks like, it looks smaller if you notice. If I look in the mirror, I can tell this eye looks bigger. That's only because the lashes have opened up my eyes. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. And there we go, a few times. Then reaching the inner corner. And there are some times when I just curl my lashes. I don't even put mascara. I just curl them and they're good. So there we go. And last but not the least is our mascara. So I'm gonna put mascara on and okay. My hair just poked my eye. Okay, for mascara, make sure you take out the excess that's there completely. And now when you're putting the mascara, make sure that not only you're going up, but you're even like rotating this so that it's combing all your lashes while you're just putting the, while you're going away from your lashes. So like that. Yeah, she's gonna come closer to the camera and the webcam. Baby hair, they're sticking everywhere. Yeah. They're done. So now that mascara is also put, and blush, everything is pretty much done. Do you guys have any questions so far?
Yeah, I had a question regarding this setting powder that I have. So when should one use it? And I have this Fit Me Maybelline powder which I bought, but I've never used it. So just wanted your guidance on that. And yeah, that's it.
So the powder that you have,
how suggestive it is to use? Can we shave our face? Because I've heard like both pros and cons about it.
yeah, you can shave. Shave meaning I would rather suggest like depending on how much hair. If you think you can really pluck it out, then pluck. Because what happens when you shave it, it's gonna come back very quick, right? And if you can pluck them, then that's the best thing, because plucking is removing them from the root. So when you remove it from the root, it will take much more. It will take longer for it to come back. And I think it is, it's completely okay to really shave it. If there are times when, you don't have time and you have to like quickly go somewhere for your meeting or something, just shave it, it's fine. It's just that it comes back faster. I don't prefer shaving it because, and also when you're shaving it, be very, very vigilant with your pressure. If you're using more pressure, it's not going to remove any better. But if you put more pressure, your skin is becoming more rough, right? So when the skin is becoming more rough, you may start getting acne because of it, small boils just because of it, because the razor is like going, it's making the skin sensitive. So that is another reason I don't prefer raising it. But then there are days when you have to do it, so you do it. You got to do what you got to do. But yeah, let's
and about the setting and this Fit Me.
Right. So setting powder will come ideally, like if it is a loose powder, you can use it over your liquid foundation right over it. And the other powder looks more like a compact, so that you can use for touch-ups. So what happens is that when we do makeup, and especially if your skin is combination and slightly, T-zone is oily, then you may need a touch-up just at least on your T-zone area. So on those areas, if you just use a very lightweight loose powder, it may not help. So that's when your Fit Me might help you, where you just want to touch up. Also, coverage wise, I think Fit Me would be better. So you can say if you're going somewhere and, if not somewhere as in somewhere out, but somewhere just like around, and like how I used a powder, just concealer and powder, you can use your Fit Me powder like that. Just conceal a little bit and you put your powder and you're ready to go. But whereas the loose powder its main purpose is to set your whole foundation. So liquid product, it needs to be set with the powder for it to stick there and stay there. If you don't do that, it will move. Even if you have natural, like you said, you have a normal skin. So even in that case, it still will keep moving like a little bit, So for it to not move, make sure that you use powder to set it.
Okay, just one last question. What does it mean when it is written on the products, high coverage, medium coverage? What does it mean exactly?
Yeah, that's a very good question actually. So coverage is basically how opaque the product is. Okay, that means if there's a less coverage, that means, if you apply it on your skin and it is a less minimal coverage, that means that your skin will still breathe through. So that means it is not going to cover everything that's there. If you have a couple of spots, it may not cover because it's not, it is less coverage. Medium coverage is little more opacity than that, and high coverage is basically something that will cover whatever's there, like spots, this, that. It will cover it completely. So something that is high coverage will cover things better. But I would suggest also, like, one thing that you need to keep in mind is when you use any high coverage product, that means it is a thicker layer. So when you put a thicker layer on your skin, it will show that it is there. It won't look natural. So you should mentally be prepared that, okay, I'm using a high coverage, that means it is going to show, so that it has to be okay, you know. Otherwise, get a product that is less coverage, so then, you know, that, or maybe a medium coverage, so it doesn't hurt too much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
No problem. And the last but not the least, I'm going to set it with my setting spray. You can either let it be or set it. I really prefer setting my makeup because I don't like powdery skin at all. I think skin should always be natural. It should always look natural, and for it to look natural and not very matte, you either have to wait for some time for the natural oils to come out and the skin will settle, or you can use a mist like so. I'm just gonna keep it at 1 arm distance. Okay, and just like a few pumps are enough. But keep it away. If you keep it close to your face and then spray it, it's just gonna go in one certain area and just that it might spoil your makeup. So keep it far, at least like 1 arm distance, as far as your arm can go, and then you spread it. Spray it. So yeah, that was this is our look. What do you think about the look? Do you think it is something that is doable for you, Priyanka?
Yes, certainly. I like the look. It's very natural. It doesn't really show any sort of makeup from the lips to the eyes, and it has highlighted the areas of the face. Very pleasant, definitely.
Great. We have Sanjana joining us. Do you want to tell us what you think? Anybody else who would like to tell me what do they think about this whole look and how, if it helped, and how this whole session was, since we've come towards the end of the session.
Yeah, hi Rishina. I really like the tip which you mentioned about the concealer below your eye, right, to hide the dark circles, to have that shade just slightly darker than your skin complexion. I think I didn't know that. That was a cool tip for me.
Great, that's really nice. I'm glad that tip helped you. So next time you buy a concealer, you know what color to pick.
All those tips, like the ones that you help with the contouring and how you should highlight your cheekbones and those things, I never really paid attention to that. So yeah, this was really great, and you look really nice. I mean, you're already pretty. It doesn't look like you've done a lot of makeup on yourself, but yeah, this look is really natural. This is what I was,
looking at.
Wanted to learn.
And it is easy, right? I mean, it is something, if you see, I really haven't put a lot of it. I've just concealed a little bit and powder. So skin, I've not done a lot. And this really, even in person, when I actually touch and feel, it doesn't feel like it's like there a lot, you know. So the whole point was to create a look that doesn't show that it's there, but it just like evens out our little here and there imperfections, but still happy about having them, because you know it's really okay to not have perfect skin. The point of makeup is to help us get that, right? So yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. Sorry, Priyanka, you were saying something.
I said thank you very much. All the tips were immensely helpful. It's a very doable thing, and I don't think it would take more than 15 to 20 minutes if one gets a little practice over it.
Right. Yeah. This is a makeup I really create in like 10 minutes. You know, there are days when I'm rushing. I have a shoot. I have like so many things, and in the morning I'm cleaning my brushes, packing my stuff, this and that. So don't have like time at all. So this is what I do. Just one thing. I use it for a couple of things, and then just sorting myself out. So yeah, it is absolutely like a 10-15 minute makeup, max 20, but really once you get your hands on it, 15 minutes tops. with the mascara and contour and everything. Great. So, TG and Jyotsna, do you have anything to say? The
No, I
mic
just
is
want to
went
say
off.
thank you.
Okay.
Like it was great. Like every session I watch, it's great. Like, and one other thing is, so we are actually, Rishina, me, and Subu, we're actually planning to do more sessions, and actually, like, what we observed is actually following what she does, like at home, actually doing it really helps. And actually, you said just if you just practice at home, you'll just forget what she talked about, and you only have memos. So we were thinking of like doing more sessions. So Subu and I will like inform you through the WhatsApp. And if you guys are interested, so next time you guys actually like bring the stuffs and just try it out at home. I think that'll be much more helpful. And thank you guys for coming. Like a lot of people actually came in. And if you guys have any questions or anything you want to learn more from Rishina, just put it in the WhatsApp chat room. And we are actually planning to give you guys send after class review like questionnaire through the WhatsApp, a link. So it'll be really nice if you guys just fill it up, and we'll try to improve what we're doing. Well, like just me and TG, like Rishina's doing her best. So there's nothing more we can talk about that, but we'll try to do something better. Any words, TG?
Thanks, Shin. Thanks a lot, Rishina. I've so over the past 4 hours, I've learned a lot as well about various techniques, various products, and thanks to everyone who joined in. We're also learning in terms of what you like and what you would like to learn in the upcoming classes. So as Shin said, right, we'll stay in touch with you. We'd like to understand more, and thanks so much for joining us on a Sunday.
Yeah, thank you for spending this time with us, and yeah, hope to see you in the next class again. And guys, please do send feedbacks. It'd be really nice. It'd be really helpful to for us to really make these sessions better in future. So please do share your very, very valuable feedback with us on WhatsApp.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Rishina.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Are we staying or?
Yeah, like how about like talking a little bit later, so you have to take some rest. And
Okay, cool.
yeah, well, I'll just WhatsApp you guys.
Okay. Okay.
Great work.
Sounds good. Awesome. Thanks a lot, Rishina. Great job, man. We'll talk in a
Guys
while.
too. All right. Yeah. Bye.
Okay,
All right.
I'll end the meeting.